What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Progressive Action TV show. I am your host, Tremel Thompson. And before I jump into today's topic, I need to tell you guys it's very important to like and share the show. Please like and share the show, whether you're watching on Facebook, whether you're watching on YouTube, Twitter. Please like and share the show. And for the people who really support the platform, please donate via Cash App. The Cash App is right there on the screen. $ Progressive Action 100. Now, to jump into today's topic, we are seeing the tale of two different union ideologies. One ideology led by the surface or the Subway Surface Supervisors Association, Michael Carrube, and Transport Workers Union, Local 100, Tony Utano. We see two different ideologies going on when it comes to who are they supporting for governor. Now, I've been critical of both men in my years here at Transit. And what I would say is that I believe Michael Carrube is on the right side of history this time around versus Tony Utano. Tony Utano is selling the members of TWU Local 100 out. And by collateral damage, he's also selling out the SSSA and other surrounding unions that bargain with the MTA. And I say that because if TWU Local 100 takes a subservient or inferior contract compared to other city agencies, then that trickles down to the SSSA, to ATU in Staten Island and Queens, and they are affected also. Nobody's going to get a good contract here until TWU Local 100 stand up, bottom line. Now, what I find very disturbing is that they are not on the same page. And Carrube and Utano not being on the same page is only going to hurt the members of those respective unions. Now, like I said before, I believe that Carrube is on the right side of history with this just because of his stance, his apolitical stance. It seems as if Carrube is only going to support a politician who has his members' best interest. And that's how it should be. It should not be what Tony Utano, John Samuelson, and the Stand United administration been doing for the past 12 years. They suck up the politicians and get nothing in return. They kiss politicians behind and get nothing in return. When does it stop? So I seen something very disturbing this morning. It irked my soul. And I believe that this video was done because Michael Carrube did a video with Lee Zeldin in support of Lee Zeldin, and why he was supporting Lee Zeldin to represent, his members basically. And Tony Utano did a video with Kathy Hochul parading her through Quill Depot. You know what? I don't even have to talk about it. Let me just pull up the video and let you guys see for yourself. And I'm going to break down some things in this video. So check it out.
When the governor was the lieutenant governor, we always communicated, and she's the governor now. We still communicate, but I want to say one thing special about her: that one of our people died on the tracks. She showed up to the funeral. She came. She comforted the family, and that was an important thing, because when people, this is why I know she cares. Because when people do things like this, it's important. Also, it's very good that she's working with the mayor of New York, Eric Adams, to fight the crime in the subways and buses. We need people to work together to defeat this problem.
That's right.
And she's the one.
Yeah.
She's the one that's already been stepping up, she's trying to do the right thing, and we need to do the right thing, and we need to put her in office for the next 4 years. Kathy Hochul, come
on. Tony, to you and all the members of Local 100, I just come here with a heart full of gratitude to know that you, through the toughest of times, when so many people are out there zooming into life, that you showed up day after day after day during the pandemic. And you had the courage and the guts to keep this city moving. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And I'm grateful to you. What we're going to continue to do is to fight like hell for every one of you. Because I know how hard you're fighting for yourselves and your families. Times do get tough once in a while. But my father always used to say, because I grew up in a union household, when the going gets tough, the tough get going.
That's right.
And we're ready to go out there
and
take back our streets and make them safe so you don't have to worry about anything other than servicing the public. And we're going to focus on that, working with the mayor, our bus drivers, our bus operators, everybody who's whole part of the system, our subways. You deserve to be safe as well. But also, your families. You need to make sure your kids have the best education, that you have access to affordable homes. I know what it's like to have prices going up all over. You just feel like you can't get ahead of things. Because you're part of our New York family. Yes, you have an important job to do, but you're also New Yorkers as well. And that's why I'm going to keep fighting for you as your governor. It's all I know how to do. And I work with other people. I work with this great team. I work with the mayor. And you didn't always hear that for 10 years. The governor and the mayor working together on the same team.
That's right.
And that's how we keep the fight up. I'm grateful to have you marching behind me.
Yeah, we
Because
will.
we're going to march to the polls. You can vote early, all the way till Tuesday, and then you'll be part of an enormous victory. We'll make history together. Let's do it.
And not only going to make history, the first woman governor in New York.
Now, that video was pathetic, it was sad, and it was sickening. You know, I'm tired of TWU members saying that, you know, I don't really like politics. Listen, politics govern every single part of your life and job. Politics determine what your wages is going to be. Politics determine what your health care is going to be. Politics determine what your work rules is going to be. Politics determine what your uniforms will be. Politics determine every single part of your job. And you guys allowed Kathy Hochul to come to Quill Depot. Michael J. Quill, the man who founded this powerful, once powerful union, because it hasn't been powerful for the past 12 years, to allow Kathy Hochul to gaslight you guys, to allow Tony Utano and Richie Davis and Sharice DeBar, we're going to talk about her too, to gaslight you guys, right? For nothing. Now, we should support, Utano said we should support Kathy Hochul because she went to a funeral of a worker who died in the tracks. Well, let me remind y'all of something. We had a female conductor who, because of no light duty work, baby died on the tracks. Did Kathy Hochul go to that funeral? Absolutely not. Did she give her condolences? Absolutely not. Did she change how this business is conducted in the MTA, an agency that she controls? You know what she did? She said, hey, now if you want light duty work, you must interview for the position. That's what Kathy Hochul did. But Kathy Hochul going to the funeral of a worker who died on the tracks, do you think that have anything to do that she knew she was on in an incoming election, and that it's an election cycle, and that this is what they do? Shake hands, kiss babies, right? Nothing to do with that. But we should vote for Kathy Hochul solely because she went to a funeral of a worker. That makes perfect sense to me. Oh, and also she's working with Adams to fight crime. Since when? Because yes, now we see an uptick in police presence in the subways, and that's only because they started reporting that Lee Zeldin is beating her in some polls or very close to her in some polls, right? And she know crime is a major issue in New York City transit. So she upticked the police because she was down in the polls. Why didn't we see this police presence after the shooting at 36th Street, the mass terroristic shooting at 36th Street? It's because there was no poll numbers out. It's because she wasn't down in anything. But Utano is gaslighting and selling her to the members and telling us that we should vote for her because she did nothing literally for transit workers. She also mentioned that we kept the city moving during, the pandemic. Why wasn't the talk of hazard pay there? Why wasn't any of those bus operators in Quill, instead of saying Kathy 4 more years, saying hazard pay, fix tier 6, hazard pay, fix tier 6? It's because the union know how to parade these politicians in front of people who do not know the politics, right? They go inside these depots, they hand out some flyers, some posters supporting Hoku, and they know that the members is going to do it without the members having any real political context as to what's really going on. And that makes us look bad because when I look at that video, I see people who look like me. I see working men and women of all races, all nationalities being sold out. And we are not smart enough to know that this can't happen. See, I tell you what, Utano is smart enough to never bring Hoku to Stillwell. He's smart enough to know that. They're going to bring them to places where they know that there's more sheep. And I hate to put it like that. I hate to put it like that. But they're going to bring them to depots where there's a heavy presence of go along to get along and uneducated members. That's just how it's going to work. He would never bring her to Stillwell because there's a lot of people at Stillwell that will let her know how we feel, right? Now, another problem that I have, let me put this picture back up, right, is that Charisse Dubois, she is the PAC, the Political Action Committee person in charge of the politicians and who we endorse and all that other stuff. Now, Charisse, I'm gonna be very honest with you, sis, and I mean no disrespect. You should be embarrassed of yourself because they are using you to parade politicians in these different properties, on these different MTA properties, right? And I get it, right? I get it. You can't really oppose anything because you are not a TWU you are not a MTA worker. So there's no such thing as going back to your tools, right? If they get rid of you, you are out of a job. And you being out of a job is a great concern. So you have to make a choice to go along or get along or be without a paycheck. But I cannot be silent on the work that you're doing. You are not doing the work of the people. You are doing the work of Tony Utano and Richie Davis, right? You are selling out workers simply because you need a job. And I 100% disagree with that stance that you're taking, but I get it. They talking about getting out the vote. Now, this is the smoke screen that's being played. Most of the people that works in Quill live in New Jersey. So how are they going to vote for Kathy Hochul, right? You had Sean Battaglia there. Oh, he's worthless. He's worthless. He got less than 400 votes in Map Store, and he supposedly liked, but he's worthless. He don't even live in New York. He lives in New Jersey. So how is he going to vote for Kathy Hochul? Now, like I said, that video and them parading Kathy Hochul around Quill was only in response to Michael Carrube and the Triple SA supporting Lee Zeldin, in which I am going to play a clip again of Michael Carrube press conference with Lee Zeldin. And there's something wrong with their audio, but I'm going to still play it. And I'm going to say this about Lee Zeldin, because even though I am anti-Kathy Hochul, Lee Zeldin, for me, has not shown enough of interest in transit worker issues. He has not talked about pensions. He has not talked about the work that transit workers really do, except in this video. But he is talking about the crime that affects people in the subways, which will ultimately be beneficial to us. But I do not endorse Lee Zeldin under any circumstance, nor do I endorse Kathy Hochul. Definitely not Hochul. People acting like Hochul just dropped out of the sky and she's a new candidate. No, she was with Cuomo this whole entire time as lieutenant governor. And I don't want to hear that she did not have a voice as lieutenant governor. They cannot tell us that. But let's go into this clip again of Lee Zeldin with Michael Carrube and the Triple SA.
Who is polling within single digits of incumbent Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul. This
is over 4,200 members. My union has been in existence since 1952. We're here today to support Lee Zeldin for governor. I want to start off by saying, every day my members play a critical role in moving New York City Transit, one of the largest transportation authorities in the country. We also helped out during the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, where we came to work each and every day. We sacrificed our lives, we sacrificed our families' lives, and we didn't even look back at that. And we were held by the MTA as second standard citizens, okay? Mistreated, not treated the way we should have, but we don't care. We're supervisors, we come to work and do what we have to do.
Now, I don't have to get into the whole video. I played the video the other day. But I think that Michael Carrube is on the right side because he's going with the candidate who has the best interest for his members. Now, I do believe that Lee Zeldin does show interest on transit workers' issues, and Kathy Hochul had plenty of years to show interest on transit worker issues, and she refused to do so, right? So, but I want to say this about Carrube also. When the pandemic was happening, Carrube took a stance that Tony Utano and Local 100 didn't take. He said that there was a lack of protective gear that was killing, his members, and he took a stance, right? While Tony Utano was sheltering in place, Michael Carrube was taking a stance for his members during the pandemic. And I also heard during that time that they was trying to get Tony Utano to stand up for the members, and they stand as a collective for a walkout over unsafe conditions, and Utano declined to do it because he was in bed with Cuomo at the time, and he did not want to upset Cuomo. In fact, this is the video that Tony Utano, Earl Phillips, and them did at Stillwell when it came to this entire pandemic. Check this out.
When I saw the news that we had 61 of our members die, and that's what brought water from my eyes. And the first thing I thought about is, is that we're all in this together. We all come to work, never expected to be doing something like this. We all want to get home to our families. And then what happened, our anxiety level is so high, and we lean on each other for support. And, if you talk about unity, this is real unity when the transit workers, the members, lean on each other for support. I went to locations and hear members speaking to each other about what they do when they get home, how to take care of themselves and their families. That is real support. When this whole thing started in January, the president and us, we sat down at the table with the New York City bus and subway heads up. and fight with these bastards. If they had listened to us, we would be in a better place today. I'm only Earl Phillips. This is only Tony Utano. We are not Jesus Christ. We don't know who's going to die tomorrow. We don't predict that. But we know if you listen to us and work collectively with us, we'll be in a better place together. But again, we're in this together. We're going to bring the troops home together. And as the president said, whoever comes.
Now, I can't even listen to that entire BS, but he says 60 at the time, 61 members died and water came from his eyes. No fight. He decided to cry. They decided to cry. This Stand United administration decided to cry, right? He also said that if the MTA would have listened to the union, they would have been in a better place, right? So why didn't y'all shut it down? Why didn't y'all shut it down? At the time, 61 members passed away. 100 more after that, and you guys refused to shut it down. And like I said, I heard that Michael Carrube went to you guys to shut it down over unsafe conditions, and you guys refused to do that. Now, I want to say this message to Michael Carrube respectfully. I know that we had our differences in the past. In fact, some years ago, I had asked you that I would like to speak with you regarding some things, and you basically dismissed me. And I took offense to that. I'm not gonna lie, I took offense to that. And I guess that's what started me being very critical of you, because I was coming from a good place. And I knew that this day would be coming. This was before things really got hectic. And I just wanted to make sure, because I understand what this fight is. I understand that you guys, the Triple SA, will not prosper without Local 100. And what I'm trying to explain is that, yeah, I'm not the president. I'm not an elected rep, but without a doubt, I have a lot of influence on New York City Transit property with both TWU Local 100 members and also your members. They watch my show. They tell me they like my show and all types of stuff, right? They share it out. They even probably give it to you, right? Your members support me. We cannot look at titles and say, well, you're not elected or you're not a supervisor in order to create the change that we need to see here. We need to break down those barriers of titles, and we need to come together as fighters, no matter what our titles are, no matter what our respective unions are. We must come together as fighters, right? Now, I'm quite sure you know this, President Carrube, that you cannot win this war without Local 100. You know that. You know that. Whatever we accept, you guys are going to accept. And if you guys decide not to accept it and walk out, possibly, they're going to have superintendents doing you guys' jobs. Plain and simple, right? They're going to have superintendents doing your job. You cannot win this war unless Local 100 is in line with you guys, right? Now, the fact that you and Utano is not on the same page is troubling. And like I said, I believe that you are on the right side of history this time. But the fact that you and Utano is not in lockstep with each other, putting together the proper fight, the people who's going to suffer is the Local 100 members, the Triple SA members, and the ATU members, right? We are going to be the ones who are going to suffer. So what are we going to do to circumvent the fact that you and Utano is not on the same page? Because like I said, Triple SA will not win a war without Local 100, just based off of the numbers alone, right? Now, we got to do better. We got to do better. I'm willing to talk with President Carrube. I'm willing to interview President Carrube to help get the Triple SA members' message out there. And this don't have nothing to do with the election. We have plenty of fights coming up outside of this election that's coming up. We have contracts that's due. We should be very supportive in our contracts. Supervisors and hourlies work hand to hand in New York City transit property. I see it every day coming in as a subway conductor, how we work together with the dispatchers to make this city run. I don't understand why are we working apart union wise to collectively bargain, because that's the real fight here. The different unions collectively bargaining together to secure righteous contracts for the members, right? So, like I said, I'm extending the olive branch to Michael Carrube. I would love to talk with him. I would love to interview him about unionism, why we should be standing together, and the truth. I think the members on both ends deserve the truth of what been happening behind the scenes between you and Utano. I think that we deserve that because we are going to be the ones who is going to suffer. And you know what? I'm going to leave it at that for now. Once again, to support Kathy Hochul, and she has done absolutely nothing to help the causes of TWU Local 100 members, is the most craziest, insane thing I have ever seen. But it don't surprise me coming from John Samuelson and Tony Utano. Once again, if you guys would like to support the program, you can support it right there via Cash App, $ Progressive Action 100. Support the program. We are here. Please share the show. Please like the show. And we will be coming with more information very soon. Catch you guys later. Peace.